5 reasons why nice guys don't get the girls. I'm sure you've all heard the saying nice guys finish last, but I'd argue that it's more of a firm belief. Many men think that women have no idea what they want. To them, we might say we want a family and a white picket fence, but what we want is the bad boy who will break our hearts. The idea is so ingrained in the culture that there are movies and TV shows about it, and recently, self-help books are being sold to teach men a practice called negging. The goal is to make a woman feel less confident by saying something nice behind her back or in a snide way. It's like giving a compliment with one hand and taking something away with the other. It's about control, putting the man in charge of the interaction by putting pressure on the woman to earn his approval. A few years ago, Diana Torgi wrote an article called Why Women Want to F-Word, Bad Boys, in which she said that the idea that nice guys finish last was supported by science. In the article, she talked about a study that said some men smoke and drink because they think it makes them more appealing as short-term partners. Many people, rightly, pointed out that being bad is about a lot more than drinking and smoking, which showed that her connection wasn't true. Also, a lot of studies have shown that this claim is not true. One study found that women liked altruistic men more than those who didn't talk about their good qualities. Another study found that women like men who are sure of themselves, easy to get along with, and sensitive. Very few women like men who are aggressive or demanding. Even though they liked confidence and assertiveness, other studies have shown that qualities like warmth, basic decency, and warmth can make people of any gender look more attractive. When it comes to men, I tend to like the ones who look bad. I'm talking big build, tattoos, and piercings. I love the way women look, but I find the look of hyper-masculinity very attractive. My latest crush is Henry Cavill as Geralt in The Witcher. But just because they look like this doesn't mean I want them to act mean toward me, maybe just in the bedroom. I like the way he looks, but I like men who are soft on the inside. Kindness turns me on, and I do like nice guys. After all, it's getting harder and harder to tell the wolves from the sheep just by looking at them. But I'm not every woman, so I decided to write an article about the many reasons why some men may not be getting chosen. 1. The women think they can't do any better. Many of my friends have asked me why women like bad guys. Even though I think this is true most of the time, it's just not true. Some people do choose guys they know will hurt them. This is a small number of all women, but I'm sure many men will disagree and say it's more. Some people do date dirtbags, but I think it's because they believe they can't do any better. Some people think that these men are all they deserve. For others, it's all they've ever known because they grew up in dangerous places. They think that being hurt and mistreated is love. Others just didn't realize how bad the person was until it was too late. When you first meet a narcissist, for example, you might think they are very attractive because they put a lot of work into their looks and charm. Before realizing they are with an abuser, other women may have already fallen in love, moved in, or even had a child. During the honeymoon phase of a relationship, the couple isolates themselves from their friends. Once the abuse starts, it's harder to get away, which is why it takes women on average 7 tries to leave for good. 2. You're dull. Many people fall into the trap of thinking that being nice is all it takes, and as a result, they don't have much personality. I've gone out with guys who didn't have much going for them. Most women like men who are confident and take charge, not to be mistaken for being domineering or controlling. I'm a strong, independent woman, but I need someone else to take charge of me. Being predictable can get a little boring. I'm not saying you need to be crazy, but you could start by being less shy. 3. You're not nice enough. A lot of men think they're nice, but the truth is they're not. Any guy who says he's a nice guy is usually just trying to get what he wants. To catch bait, they leave out favors and breadcrumbs. 1 + 2 = 3, and they always do nice things in the same way. But nice guys don't act nice just to get sex. They also don't need to shout about how great they are and what they have done because they are too busy being kind. My general rule is that any guy who says he's a nice guy isn't. Usually, after this quote, they go on to tell stories about times when women didn't treat them the way they should have. In reality, the same problem can only happen so many times before we figure out that the problem is you. 4. You don't seem genuine. Because they always work toward a goal, nice guys tend to try to make everyone happy. Because of this, it doesn't seem like any love shown is real or special. Many people give with the hope of getting something in return, which makes everything feel fake. When we see this, we know that you don't want us, but you want to use us to boost your ego. Goodwill gestures aren't meant to be used to get something in return. Kindness is also not a way to meet people. There's more to it than that. There's nothing worse than having a male friend who thinks you owe them sex for doing the bare minimum of what's right. These guys are snakes who are trying to act like Labradors. Being entitled is not hot. 5. You forget that love is complicated. When Dr. Jesse Marchik talked to The Independent about nice guy syndrome, he said, "Men who stay in the friend zone might not be attractive enough on their own, physically, socially, or in other ways. So they try to make up for it by investing more in women than their peers. In other words, they might try to make up for what they lack in other ways by being kind." I must agree with that. A lot of guys say I put them in the friend zone. Even when there was nothing there to do. It's not enough to just be nice to make up for the deficit. Some of my male friends have gone for girls they had no chance with, hoping that by being nice, they could somehow get there. It's not enough, though. I think movies and TV shows are to blame. For so long, men have dominated the media we watch, which has made it hard to see what's going on. When it comes to putting people in roles, Hollywood has a problem. It was found that many movies have couples that could be father and daughter, on average the age difference is 20 years. There's also a difference in how they look. Men are allowed to get older on screen, but many actresses reach their best in their early 20s and then start getting fewer and fewer roles. I've seen a lot of movies where an average male actor is paired with a woman who looks like a supermodel. I think all of this has messed up our ideas about how attraction works. Note to men, stop chasing women you can't afford, she wrote. The problem with this situation is that too many average men think a woman should lower her standards, whatever they may be, to be with them, no matter what other options she may have. These men think they deserve special women even though they aren't very special themselves. They then want to complain about it and say it's the woman's fault for not seeing their worth. They say that a sense of entitlement breeds disrespect. Many men would rather take advice from other men than from women. We haven't tried to hide what we like, and it's not a big, impossible mystery. We look for real connections with people we can trust and count on. Someone who can hear you. Not someone who plays hard and fast, making love to every woman he can get his hands on in the hopes of getting one. We do like nice guys, but that's not enough. Also, being nice doesn't make up for the things you lack. I'm not looking for a relationship, but if I were, I'd have high standards. There is no reward for doing just enough. My advice to guys who are stuck in the friend zone is easy. Maybe it's time to hear what women have to say.